I've had a message from Patricia who wants to know, how do you use essential oils for chronic inflammation? What are the best essential oils to use for inflammation and for pain that comes from inflammation? And this is a fascinating area, Patricia, and essential oils can definitely help. What's very interesting with inflammation is there's such a strong relationship with how you're feeling and your emotions to how your body reacts to that. And so I did a video earlier today. It might be worth looking that up. What essential oils do you use for diverticulitis? And I went into the mind-body connection for the bowels, and I think that it's not specific to inflammation, but of course diverticulitis is an inflammation of the bowel, so it will be relevant. I think that there is a trend in the world to use essential oils now as sticking plasters, as a means to suppress thank you suppress the things that are going on in the physical body. But in actual fact, pain specifically is not really about aches and pains. It's about the body going, I've got something to tell you. Can I just tell you about something that I'm not very happy with? I don't feel very safe. I don't feel reassured here. I need you to listen. And you know, people say to me, well, that's just really weird. But honestly, the physical body is the densest manifestation of our soul, right? We're sent here with a purpose, right? Everybody's here for a reason, and you've got something to do. How many of us find what we're supposed to do is irrelevant. You know, we're not talking about massive grand schemes. Some of us just are here because we're just wonderful mothers, or we just, you know, somebody needs some help, and that's what we were here to do. But we really need to be listening to source to be able to understand. We're not just here to take up space. We've got a job to do. And we live in busy lives, in loud places where people are in your face and music's on all of the time and tablets are blaring and kitchen extractor fans are very noisy. So I can't think straight when mine's on. But you just can't hear. We need to be taking time to stop and think and reflect and just hear source telling us, helping us through our lives, directing us, giving us inspiration. And if we're not hearing that, then the body goes, well, I have really been trying to knock the door. I just tried gently to ring the bell, and that extractor fan is so loud, the dog's barking, I can't hear. So you know what? You need to take notice. So I'm going to give you diarrhea. And if you sit on that toilet for 20 times a day, perhaps you will think about what I'm trying to tell you. And you know, it seems extreme, but I see it over and over again. Inflammation comes from hostility in your life and not really going with the flow. So that would be my first thing to say to you, that meditation might seem like a balmy way forward, but I promise you, if you start listening to spirit, you'll feel calmer and easier in your flow in life. You're not going to come up against resistance. You're not going to feel like you're pushing. You're not going to be straining your body as much, and that can only be good. So that's the first thing. Inflammation physically comes from the endocannabinoid system. So I have just talked about this in another video. The endocannabinoid system is, let me get the book, explained in depth in my cannabis book, because you'll notice endocannabinoid system. They're the same word. And that is because it was through the experiments with cannabis that they found the endocannabinoid system, because oddly, very oddly, the endocannabinoid system can be manipulated by cannabis. Very, very odd. But the reason why, it's a super plant. So what is the endocannabinoid system? Well, the endocannabinoid system is our primary endocrine system, and it's a signalling system that's like a volume control. So we have a nerve. This nerve wants to send something to this nerve. So he's going to send, he doesn't send Christmas cards. He sends chemicals across. So these chemicals you may have heard of. He might send serotonin, or he might send dopamine, or he might send acetylcholine, neurotransmitters. He might also send hormones. So he might send estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, insulin, any number of different, I can't even tell you how many hormones there are, but it could be lots. So he sends, this is, we're not going to call him Bert or Bill or Frank or Ted or even Emily. This is presynaptic. I know it's not a very kind name, but this is presynaptic cell. This is postsynaptic cell. This is the synapse, this gap. This is pre, before it. This is post, after it. Now, the endocannabinoid system is unusual. No other system in the body does this, but it sends messages from the postsynaptic backwards. Why? Well, he sends messages here, he sends messages here, he sends messages, he sends messages here, and it's going into a black hole. But postsynaptic nerve cell receptor goes, I've got enough. No, I need some more. That's too much. Stop sending. Imagine then, and this is my favourite way of putting it, imagine it, we're getting fatter and fatter, and we're getting stressed and stressed and stressed, and we're not looking after ourselves, and our body has got, can't deal with with blood sugar, and it's going insulin, 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 insulin. I sound like a Dalek, don't I? Insulin. Postsynaptic goes, he's fat, he's got diabetes, he's smoking, you don't care. No! If the endocannabinoid system is working and the postsynaptic cell is sending messages, goes, stop it! And he goes, oh, sorry. Yes, stop it. Send less tomorrow. Okay. Insulin, stop. Okay. Stop. And suddenly, we're managing insulin properly. So this is very, very important. Right. So, endocannabinoid system consists of two main receptors. There are more. Two main ones. CB1, cannabinoid receptor 1, which is predominantly in the brain and deals with cognition, with memory, with appetite, itching, movement, and mainly in the brain. We are interested in cannabinoid receptor 2. Cannabinoid receptor 2 is in the periphery of the body, that is not in the core, so limbs and things, mainly on blood tissue and lymphatic tissue. So, blood and lymphatic, why would that be? Well, because it's mainly involved in immunity and inflammation. I know, right? You wanted to know about inflammation? It's that receptor. Right, so CB2 receptor. How do we deal with it? Well, we're back to the book. We're back to the book. Cannabinoid receptor 2 will respond to CBD oil because it likes CBD. CBD has a direct action on the CB2 receptor. But that's a CO2 extraction. Strictly speaking, it's not an essential oil. And you asked me about essential oils for inflammation. So I'm going to take you back to the cannabis and I'm going to say hemp essential oil. It's not the CBD oil, it's different. The cannabinoids don't cross through distillation, so mainly what's in there is terpenes. The main terpene that it likes in there is beta-caryophyllene oil, and beta-caryophyllene is a direct influencer of the CB2 receptor. So by using the hemp essential oil, we can influence the activity of the CB2 receptor. In other words, calm down, enough pain, enough inflammation. What other oils have beta-caryophyllene? Lots, loads. It's one of the most common constituents in aromatherapy. A couple of really important ones. Probably the biggest amount of beta-caryophyllene is found in copaiba oil, black pepper oil. All of those fantastic for soothing inflammation. Then we can use anti-inflammatory oils. Now, we don't really know what their action is, how they're anti-inflammatory. Some of them we do, but let's not be technical. But things like Roman chamomile, anti-inflammatory. Frankincense, anti-inflammatory. I mean, somebody, I can't remember who said it to me now. It was somebody wise, just to cover myself. I think it might have been Jane Lawson. Can't remember. Said to me that they knew an aromatherapist who reckoned that every illness could be treated with frankincense. And I kind of went, don't know about that. But as I've gone through, I've gone, well, I would use it for that, I would use it for that, I would use it for that, I would use it for that. And if inflammation is at the root of most disease, which it is, then frankincense. So frankincense is going in. So, I mean, to be honest with you, Patricia, it's going to depend on where the inflammation is. But those are your main anti-inflammatory levers to switch it down. So, I hope that helps you. And, yeah, thanks for the question. And I'll speak to you soon, Pat.